beverages over here and some coffee cake and some pancakes and stuffed pancakes and momentarily some eggs. So we'll probably have some stopping and starting today, and I mean, this is very informal, so please help yourself to that. We'll also go ahead and get started with the first part of our meeting because we have someone who is going to speak for a moment and then she's got to go. So I'm going to check on the eggs, but while I'm gone, I encourage you to get up and get some pancakes.
And then she's gone.
We will have some gluten-free offerings in a moment.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
How are you? Is Chuck going to be here today?
He usually should come. Yeah. I think he usually should.
Yeah. The weather is
I think I know
bit.
to do it. Yeah, but I haven't come for a long time.
I know.
Are you done with this week? Yeah.
It's pioneer.
Yeah, so I think pediatric medical are great on giving some data for the PPS. Yeah, yeah. So I think in January, Chuck talked to me about it. He said, Gabi, you might want to get involved with PPS again. And I said, oh my God, yeah, that's not the Congress.
Yes. And I know that Andrew was working on it. Andrew engineering actively. So that's good. But yeah, there's data.
So we will see.
Yeah. That's part of why I'm sharing for my next study. Which I'm starting the pilot study tomorrow.
Wonderful. The last week in December it starts.
It's not right. It's perfect time. But really, I'm really
Oh. I'm supposed to mention that we have gluten-free pancakes as well in just a second.
But
that will be your crowd, right here?
Isn't this a perfect place to be?
It's not. Yeah, and coordination with the crowd. Where else do you want to be? That's the place. So. Oh. Done.
Why don't you come get set up so that when it's all sitting, yeah, let's do that. While we're figuring that out, let's just check our wording.
I'm 5 minutes. Those are regular.
Probably
Yeah.
No, there's our pulling. No, pulling would be written.
But yeah, I mean, the meeting was actually 16 minutes. How many times did you get today?
Great. Showing. Do you want to try again with the?
Hey, Mindy, I need to make her presenter.
I'm going. Yeah. Can you make her presenter?
I should be able to.
Or I can.
Make presenter. Okay, Valerie, there it comes. Just accept.
Well,
And then the people that I see as trainers. And then I look
How are you?
Dandy. How are you doing?
Good.
Are you still very busy down there? We're pretty busy right now. It's office. Child security. Yes. Right.
We'll get into that. Okay, you guys. Sorry to interrupt, but we're going to go ahead and let Polly go ahead and present for a couple of minutes. You may have gotten an email from Dr. Norland a few weeks ago talking about Polly's study. So she's here to take 5 minutes to let you know a little bit more about it and potentially encourage you to participate.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Norland and Mindy, for the opportunity. Can they hear me on something?
It's only us,
Okay.
but it's recorded.
As was mentioned, and you probably have seen Dr. Norland, but my research, let me introduce myself. I am a PhD candidate up at the University of Utah, Department of Biomedical Informatics. And I hope that this is my 5th year. My research is entirely focused on care coordination for children and youth with special testing. I'm looking at it from the perspective of providing information system-based tools to alleviate problems that can be solved through information. My previous study, that was my very first study, I interviewed 19 people in various roles, pediatricians, specialists, care coordinators, and parents. And some of them are in this room. And with the help of Dr. Norland, I basically recruited for that study as well. And that study was extremely successful. We categorized the information needs into 6 high-level information goal types and then 36 information goal subtypes. I am trying to create a tool to one of those information goal types, and that is that of care needs. Children with special healthcare needs tend to have larger and more complex care needs. So visualizing that care, managing that care, current EHR tools don't provide enough to do that kind of thing. And so I'm approaching it hopefully something innovation, etc., and of course evidence. So this tool has already been designed. Gina has helped out, Dr. Morgan has helped out in designing the tool. I start the pilot tomorrow. I'm going to be helping in Dusty, which is my first participant. It's a pilot. So I'll have 2 care coordinators, 2 pediatricians, and 2 parents interact with it. So once I get feedback from them, I will go ahead and improve the tool some more, and then I will start my coordinator study. And that is what I'm here for. I need your help in conducting that, your participation. This study is IRB approved, and I seek help from parents and care coordinators. I believe Gina has already sent out an email regarding that. Dr. Bowman has sent out an email to the care coordinators and the UCCCN email group regarding the same. Like I said, you'll interact with the tool and answer a few questions. There's a few questionnaires and basically provide feedback that this was easy, this was not so clear, this would help. And that's what I'm looking for. It's a formative evaluation. So as I create the tool, I will also be getting your feedback and improving it. I need about an hour, 55 minutes to an hour of time. I can schedule it at any place that is convenient to you. Any time, no time is forward and too late. Weekends are fine. They actually are for me. I don't get weekends. I'm a PhD candidate. But I want to finish the study in January so that I can write it out and submit it to my committee. I got great response from pediatricians actually. All my slots are filled for pediatricians. But I do need help from care coordinators and parents. So please consider helping. I would be very, very grateful to you all and very grateful. Any questions?
Yes. So we'll send out all of these contact information with the email that we send out after every meeting. And if you want to get in touch with her prior to getting that email, just contact me. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Right. And the gluten-free ones are up. If anyone wants them. All right, Debbie, you want to make me presenter again? All right, I'm going to back up just a tiny bit and show you what our agenda looks like today.
There you go.
Okay, great. I need to be 2 places. And I think we'll actually save the introductions until the part after our next presenter, because that's when we can kind of relax a little bit more and we can interact with one another more at that time. So Halsey has talked with us a little bit, and again, if you're interested in signing up and helping her out, feel free to get in touch with me so that I can pass along her information a little bit faster to you. Otherwise, again, it will be sent out. So I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have a directory now, and if you have let us know your updated contact information and given us your permission, then your information is in there and you should have received a link to it. If for any reason none of that has happened yet, you're always welcome to do that. So you can let me know if you want to understand what contact information we're asking for. But we do need an explicit yes to be able to, we kind of have this new policy to make sure that you're comfortable sharing your information and you know that it is in fact being shared, but always only with others in this group and organizations that we feel are going to use it appropriately. So for instance, Rachel's group at Primary Children's and others similar to that might ask for this information. So let us know if you haven't accessed that link or can't access that link or whatever, and we'll work with you to make sure you can see that. I wanted to let you know that we are having a spring learning session. So we'll follow up our last one from October with another one. It's again going to be held at the University of Utah during their spring break so that we can avoid all of the traffic happening to folks. And it's going to actually fall on the very same day as our usual meeting. And I'll be honest, it was a little bit tricky last October to hold a learning session and a regular meeting. And so this time we hope that you'll just attend the learning session instead of the regular meeting. And we recognize that that may not be possible for everybody, that the university might not be conducive, that location or what have you. But if you're able to, we encourage you to just attend the learning session rather than coming to that particular day. And more information will be coming out on that. We've mentioned this a couple of times in previous meetings. We're excited to let you know that our anxiety disorders module is now published on the Medical Home Portal. I cannot see that on my screen, so I'll look over here. So we feel like this is a great module. We had a lot of terrific people help with it. And so I encourage you, if you're working with families of children who have some potential anxiety, go ahead and take a look at this. This is written again for primary care physicians and their teams to help manage anxiety in kids who may also have other issues as well. So take a look at it, and hopefully that will be of use to you. Oh, I got to go back to this. That's harder. Technical difficulty. While I'm trying to fix what's going on the screen, this is the time when we get to talk about whatever's going on in your world. So if you have any difficult cases that you would like to talk about, we can definitely do that now. If there's anything that you would like a little bit of help on, we can talk about that. If there's anything that you've done that worked out really well that you'd like to share, we love hearing about those things as well. Any new resources that you've come across, please share them with the group, and we can double check and make sure that they're in the Medical Home Portal's directory, and if not, we'll get them there. Also, if you have any motivational interviewing opportunities that have gone well, or not, that you'd like to talk about, that's a great time as well. And finally, any quality improvement things that you're doing within your practices. We love hearing about that as well. You can also just go up and get more food.
So, last time we talked about the care plan and kind of how it's organized and set up, and we added the medication specialty. Well, this same child that we had major issues with before ended up going back to an acute care facility from the skilled nursing. And then they called me on Friday and said, we want to move him today. Okay, you can do whatever you want, but okay. And I said to the care coordinator that was calling me that she was not really familiar with it, I said, whatever you do, please make sure you do a medication reconciliation. Fully. Make it just go all the way down, because here's what we had problems with before. And they did it, and he was transferred without a hitch. I mean, it was so great.
Excellent.
But had I not thought, and we had not had the discussion about specialty medication and things that are not easily accessible, I think we would have been in the same position we were on the same kind of Friday when everybody wants to go home and it's 10 to 4 and you're going to be here a lot longer because that's what we do. Right. That it worked out really well. So I say thank you for this discussion.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for bringing it up. So that's wonderful. We love hearing about those kinds of things. And the more we talk about it, I think the more it will get in our heads, and we'll want to continue to make sure that we don't overlook those things. Very good. Anybody else?
I have a question. I think we talked about this last time or a while ago, but do we know of anything of like pediatric weight management programs or weight health or children that are?
I recently had a child with Rohab syndrome admitted to South Davis for a month, where they put her through a pretty intensive training and behavior modification kind of thing, for as long as they could do it. But it also included parents as part of the education. And then just this week here, yesterday, in fact, I found out that there is a care coordinator, care manager on our behavioral health team that has access to an in-home therapist who will go and teach the same kinds of things in the home so that they can actually do an assessment, see what some of the challenges might be, and provide the education to both the child and the parent. So that's through Select Health. Now maybe, you know, who you're talking about or their needs might have someone different.
Yeah,
But apparently there is somebody out there that
I know that Intermountain is really working hard to establish well programs for children. That's the only thing I know of that.
So we've used the sweating as well with some of our patients because what they'll do is they'll do an evaluation for the parents as well, and it's covered by their insurance. So then it's teaching the family how to eat, and it's really good, and then helping them to encourage activities. And that's been successful for us.
So you just refer them to.
I'd also recommend that you call Shriners because there's a dietitian up there before she had a baby. Just like, I know she was working on a program that was up and going for the community. So call and ask to talk to their nutritionist and see what the latest programs work on that program.
I mean, it would be really great if they had something like that.
Yeah, and that's kid oriented for pediatrics.
Yeah.
Besides the Live they have IHC or Select Health Community Care. They can get 5 individual sessions with a dietitian that's covered by their insurance.
Or with Select Health.
If they have any Select Health insurance or Select Health Community Care, they're also covered 5 visits with a dietitian.
Yeah, can't quite hear you actually.
Sorry. If they have Select Health insurance or Select Health Community Care, they get 5 visits with a dietitian that's covered by their insurance, and that's on an individual basis.
Do you know what the insurance is?
Well, I mean, it would be all pairs. I mean, some of our patients are uninsured, so.
So this is a more broad question, not most people.
Yeah. Just if there's a program out there for kids, like a boot camp or something.
Gina, where did Gina go? There she is. Gina, were you, sorry to put you on the spot, were you nodding at Adam's question about weight management programs for kids? Was I not? I just thought you were like, I know something. Just now? A moment ago before you stepped out. No, I don't thought when I had more coffee. Sorry, I wasn't listening. All right. I love my coffee a lot.
I'm not
I don't know, I'm having a little trouble with the internet connection. So, sorry. Please, yeah. We've used our health department as well, so I'm on a lot of that. So this is our decision, and one of the health departments that we refer to as well. And should this be for that?
Do like assessment, provide education.
Yeah, and so check with them also with your health department too, if they have that available. I know one of our health departments does have it, and the other one does not. So it wasn't. And we'll look. So we have a diagnosis module on childhood obesity, and that was going to be one of the first places I read. My internet was helping me out, and so we'll follow up as well, Adam, and look again at what we might have in the notes. Any other questions? And I don't think our presenter has come in, so that's all right. We can always flex today of all days and jump back to my PowerPoint to remind myself that it's ever helps. All right. Well, then we will move to the fun and games part. A little early, and maybe what we'll do. Great. Okay, very good. Hello. How are you? Perfect timing. I'll let you come right on up if you don't mind. I won't let you even sit down. And you're Sam Lee, right? Yes, great. Thank you very much for being here. I assume you might want to project, is that right?
I am.
Okay. Okay, another opportunity to get more food. All right, so we are recording this meeting, and in order to capture your slides, you need to have it and have you connect to our GoToMeeting, so I'll let you finish this chapter. Great. Again, wireless communication, wireless communication.
So when you went online, you went online, and then there's well, like 2 days later. No, it's really good. It's the college. And this is what you do.
rental without the hospital bill. Go to hospital bill. You know what? Who do their contract? Right, do their contract.
All right, I think we're ready to go, you guys. It's pretty good. I don't know if you get to do more than that. It doesn't show on the recording, but it does show on your projected screen. You can come over.
Okay. Well, good morning. Thanks for having me come today. My name is Sam Lee. I represent the Office of Home Visiting with the State Health Department. And I was asked by Mindy to come and present today a little bit about our office and what we do in the state of Utah as far as home visiting. So just by raise of hand, sorry, I feel like I'm kind of blocking one person there. Maybe this clicker over here. Is this connected to the projector? Maybe? If I use this.
That is connected to the projector.
Maybe I can get around anyway. So what by raise of hand, how many have heard of the Office of Home Visiting? Is this somewhat familiar? Okay, maybe about half. What I hope to do today is give you an introduction to what home visiting is, what our office does, what our role is, and hopefully have you be an advocate for us at the end of our meeting today. Before I forget, I do have some marketing materials. These are in both Spanish and English, and I would love for you to take one of these. I've also got some posters here that share a little bit about our office, and I'll talk about these in just a minute. But please take one of those if you'd like at the end of my presentation. So first, what does home visiting look like? Home visiting is intended to be in the home. That's maybe obvious, stating the obvious there, but our home visitors that are part of our office and they're contracted through our office visit homes. And our primary contact is face-to-face in the home of the clients that we serve. Here we see a mother and a little baby there with a home visitor, very typical. What we intend to do and what most of our programs promote is that we visit twice a month. That's our most common contact frequency. There's some exceptions to that, maybe for the age of the child and the circumstances of the family where it might be just once a month. But generally, we're going twice a month, and that's kind of the expectation for the programs that we have. To give you a little flavor of our office, we do have a video that introduces our program. And so I'm going to pause just for a minute and go to this video and have you watch it. It's about 2.5 minutes, and we'll talk about it.
And offer advice and support can make all the difference. The Utah Office of Home Visiting offers free, community-based in-home support and education programs designed to empower pregnant women and families by building on qualities that promote healthy pregnancy, healthy babies, and give parents the skills they need to improve their lives.
The really brilliant thing about this Parents and Teachers program and also the Nurse Family Partnership is that home visiting is so beneficial. So we actually receive grant money from the State Office of Home Visiting to provide these services for free to all of the moms and dads and families that we visit. We've served families from their prenatal, so while she was pregnant, through the age of 5. So if you qualify for the WIC program, then you would meet our income qualifications. And then after that, we would match you with a parent educator, and they would come to your home and visit twice a month for an hour. The only other side of that for the mom or the family is to make themselves available for those those visits. Mothers can turn to their home visitor for questions and guidance regarding any topic from pregnancy and giving birth, how to care for your baby, and even how to keep calm when the baby won't stop crying. I'm a nurse with the Nurse Family Partnership Program, and we have a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, all the nurses that work under the program. We also go to the national office in Denver for specific training for this program. The home visitor can cater the program to fit your needs to improve skills that will help with lifelong success. I have a mother who's had 5 kids, but every time I ask her a question, she's like, things have changed so much, and you just need to ask your doctor. So when I heard that I could have a nurse come over every other week or every week or whatever, it changes throughout as you go. But I was super excited. Like, awesome, a vessel of knowledge I can go to. So I've seen how it is making changes in their lives. They're being healthier, they're achieving goals, they're setting goals and achieving goals, and babies are developing better, they're having less premature babies. I've just seen it impact their lives. And then I think about how that exponentially is affecting other lives too. They're sharing the information with their family and their friends. They're having healthier babies. A lot of them are getting out of poverty. And this is affecting generations in their lives.
Okay, that gives you just a little flavor of our office. We have 2 that were highlighted there, and I'll talk a little bit more about the Nurse Family Partnership and the Parents as Teacher program. But the 2 women that we're speaking are 2 of our home visitors, one from Prevent Child Abuse Utah up in Ogden, and the other from Utah County Health Department. So these programs that we offer are intended to be a help to the family, and that's what I want to go to next. What is the purpose of home visiting? What are we trying to accomplish in our visits to the home? Really pick out kind of 5 primary reasons why we're visiting the home. The first is for the moms that join us while they're pregnant, is we want that mom to have a healthy pregnancy and for the baby to be as healthy as possible. And so we're talking to the mom about getting her prenatal visits, getting the medical care that she needs, and trying to alleviate any problems that we can during the pregnancy. We're also talking to the mom about smoking and other harmful things that can affect the baby during the development. Many of our mothers deal with drug addiction and alcohol addiction. And so we're talking to them about that and helping them have as healthy of a pregnancy as possible. Once the baby's born, we're there to help provide some basic instruction about how to care for a baby. Many of the mothers that we're working with are very alone, and so they don't have others that are helping them. Most of our mothers are first-time mothers. That's not a requirement in one of the programs. Most of the clients we have are first-time mothers. And so it's helping them understand just the basics of bathing their baby, even diapering for the first little bit to understand what to do, nursing. Just the basics of caring for the child. Next, we're focused on the health and wellness of the mother and child. So we're talking to them about getting to the doctor on a regular basis. We want the mother to have her postpartum checkup, get the care that she needs, and also the baby to have their regular checkups, immunizations, just the basic care of the child as they grow. We're focused on school readiness. There's great research out there to show the earlier babies are learning and developing, the better their brains are growing as they should. And so there's a big focus on helping the parents learn how to teach their child. One of the programs has a major focus in that, the Parents as Teacher program. Nurse Family Partnership isn't as focused, but certainly we're talking to the family about the development of the child. We're talking about family well-being. Many of the families we're working with are low income. Housing is always an issue. stability of jobs, the stability of relationships. We're just there to help them have stability. We're a voice of support, a voice of help to them, providing community resources. And then finally, we're very focused on developmental delays, which I think this group may be very interested in, where we do a number of screenings, but our primary screening would be the ASQ3 and ASQ-SE screening, where those children are scoring below thresholds that we're trying to find resources for them to address those needs. So these are kind of 6 categories or 6 buckets of reasons why we're visiting with families with concern. I just want to point out that our home visitors are not social workers directly. They're focused on helping the parents be independent, help the families get the resources they need. They somewhat function at times as social workers, but the home visitors are not intended to solve every problem of the family. And the training that they receive asks that they address certain issues in the curriculum, but where they can't meet those needs, we're there to be a connection to the community. So we're referring out to places that can help the family. These are some of the partnerships that we have. These aren't all the partnerships, but some of the agencies we work with as far as maternal mental health. We have the Maternal Mental Health Collaborative, Save Kids, hundreds of different resources throughout the state. And our role, one of the things we do is to try to educate our home visitors as to what those resources are. The other great reference that we have a resource is Help Me Grow. Just by raise of hand, how many are aware of Help Me Grow? Okay, good. Because you're aware of that. Help Me Grow is a great resource for us as well. And so we call on Help Me Grow to identify resources, especially where we're new to a community. We really look to them to be able to identify who's available to help. Again, our home visitors can't solve all the problems, but we rely on Help Me Grow as a way to bring those referrals to the family. Okay, so just to give you a flavor of our curriculum, we have 3 different programs that we follow. The first is the Parents as Teacher program. Next is the Nurse Family Partnership, and then finally a brand new program for us is the Family Spirit program. So Parents as Teachers is really focused, see the name, that the parents become the primary teacher of the child. And a major emphasis in the program is school readiness, focused on helping the parents learn how to teach their child and interact with their child in a positive way. The Nurse Family Partnership program is similar in many ways, but the focus is much more of a medical focus. There's a little more assessment. There are nurses that are out in the homes, and so their background is certainly more of a medical perspective, and that's the focus of that model. And then the Family Spirit program is intended to reach out to the Native American community. So we're just reaching out to various communities in the state, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So who qualifies for home visiting? How do you know if they're going to meet our criteria? The first is that the families need to be low income, and we've drawn the line at 185% of the poverty line. And if you're familiar with the WIC threshold, that's the threshold that the WIC program currently follows. So you see per household what that might be. We do count a pregnant mother as a household of 2. So if it's a mother who's on her own, she would just need to be below the 29,471 threshold. The difference there depending on the household size. The other requirement is that the mother be either pregnant, and in the Nurse Family Partnership program, that mother needs to be enrolling before the 29th week of pregnancy and be a first-time mom. So that particular program is a little more baby. And so come join our program, either spirit models, where the child is either under age 3 or under age 5, depending on the program. So if a mother's already has a baby, they wouldn't qualify for nurse-family partnership, and we would have them join in the parents as teachers. So essentially the requirements are low income, either be pregnant or have a child under the age of 3 or 5, depending on the program. Those are the basic criteria. I want to point out that our home visiting is voluntary. It's not as if our clients are required to join our program. We promote this in the community and want people to voluntarily come to us. It is a long-term commitment. We don't want families to join for 2 months and then come off. We're asking them to be with us for several years. So we try and explain up front that this program is intended for typically a twice a month visit for 2 to 3 years. We're a part of their lives and building a relationship with them. That doesn't happen. To give you a sense of who we're serving and kind of the demographic, most of our mothers are young mothers in their teens or 20s. We do have a fair amount of teen mothers. We actively try and reach out to those in our community who may have been kicked out of their home, pregnant, need to help them have stability, help them have a healthy pregnancy, and really there to teach them the basics of parenting. Many of our clients have many risk factors. Homelessness, although we don't actively typically recruit at stay-the-road homes, many of our families are low income and where they're living, abuse, depression, unstable relationships, low education. So not every client has all these risk factors, but they typically have 1 or 2 of these. Come and find out about our program. Most are on some form of public assistance. So, where are we in Utah? Currently, this shows you where we are in the state. About half of our agencies are county health departments. You see the list there with Bear River, Weber Morgan, Davis, Salt Lake, and Utah County. Those 5 programs are the Nurse Family Partnership Program. The others that you see there, Prevent Child Abuse Utah and Ogden, the Children's Service Society in Salt Lake, and the Learning Center for Families, those 3 programs run the Parents as Teacher program. Those are private nonprofits. Are you familiar with those agencies, the private nonprofits? I don't know if that's something you're familiar with. Our goal is to be statewide, and so we've got a lot of ground to cover. We've put our first attention along the Wasatch Front. We're really trying to focus on getting out to the rural areas of the state. And so our Utah Health Department is now up and running the program. And then what we're really about is we have a health system just signed a contract weeks, and we're ready to find hopefully we're intending to roll out state that gives you a sense of kind of where we are right now. As far as our funding, most of our funding is federal. We receive our grant funding through Health and Human Services, and specifically the Health Resource and Service Administration with the federal government. Our current grant funding is $3.17 million, and that basically funds what I just showed you in the previous slide, and the sites that we're currently operating. The funding source, you may hear this in the media, is referred to as the Maternal Infant Early Childhood Home Visiting. This is it. We applied for with the federal government. Congress needs to reauthorize this, or our fingers are crossed, probably like yours are in federal grant programs that you have. We're optimistic that Congress will again reauthorize our funding and allow us to at least maintain where we are. Our desire and our goal is to expand, but we're really reliant on federal funding to carry us forward next year. We do have a small portion of our funding that comes to the Department of Workforce Services and TANF funding, temporary assistance to needy families. That's also a help to us. That's a smaller portion of what we do. But we're grateful for Department of Workforce Services providing some to us. As far as our office, oh sure.
Back on the previous slide,
Yeah.
what type of business do you offer?
So it is just our standard home visiting program. And
Oh,
so
okay.
it's home visiting services funded through TANF funds. What's a little unique, I'll just take a side note here, is families that are served with TANF funding do have to meet the TANF criteria. They do have to be U.S. citizens, and there is a slightly different income criteria. And so we do serve a fair number of undocumented families, so they are not eligible for our TANF funding. But we're grateful to be able to have that further our reach. Okay, as far as our office, we are an office of 6. We're part of the Bureau of Child Development, so I work for the State Health Department. Teresa Whiting is our Bureau Director, and we have 6 employees, 3, Susanna, Natalie, and Linda, are specifically focused and assigned to sites like Prevent Child Abuse Utah, the Learning Center for Families, the County Health Department. They're there to assist them and help them. Robert Osler is our professional development specialist, and so we regulate training. And we want our home visitors to be really qualified. We want them to be in the home to be able to serve the families as well as we can. And so Robert focuses on that, and we have a vacant data manager position. So, we're housed over at the Health Department on 3760 South Highland Drive. We're not in Cannon. We're off on the east side of Salt Lake. So what is our role? What is our purpose? Just a couple of highlights of what we do. One of our main focuses is again, professional development. We regularly host trainings. Last 2 weeks ago, we were down with Utah County and invited our staff to receive the Bridges Out of Poverty training. We do training on the ASQ assessments, the domestic violence. There are specific assessments that we do that we're training our staff to be educated about. We offer database support, so we have 2 separate databases that we gather this information. And we have a really heavy reporting requirement with the federal government. So anyway, there's database support that we offer. We're assisting the sites in their reporting. They have reporting requirements to the model, and we're also helping with that. So as I finish up here, I got just a few more minutes. Is that okay? Just want to give you a flavor of what is success, or what are we focused on. I kind of gave you 6 buckets before of the areas of focus, but what specific measures are we looking at? I just want to kind of roll through these and talk about the kind of outcomes or the kind of things that we consider success. The first is we want a healthy pregnancy. We want to reduce the number of preterm births for the clients that we serve. We're educating the mothers about the benefits of breastfeeding, and this specific measure is looking at how many children are receiving any breast milk at 6 months of age. So we're really encouraging and helping the mothers reach that 6-month mark. Maternal depression, this is a big area of focus for us. We know that this is a common problem. Many women are suffering in silence. So part of our standard process is to screen all women for depression. And then not only screen them, our goal is to get them to the help that they need. We have a strong partnership with the Maternal Mental Health Collaborative. We want all women who are suffering to get the help that they need. So we follow the Edinburgh depression screening tool, that tool, or the PHQ-9, the other tool we follow. So our goal is to identify those who need that help and give them the resources they need. We're focused on well child visits. We follow the American Academy of Pediatrics schedule. And so we're helping, again, mothers and fathers, where the father's involved, to regularly take their child to the doctor and get them the medical help they need, make sure they're up to date on their immunizations, and addressing whatever needs the child has. Getting the mom to the doctor, our goal is to have her get back for a postpartum checkup by 8 weeks. Get the care that she needs. Tobacco cessation, we know that the developing child is influenced not only by tobacco, alcohol, drugs. This particular measure is focused on tobacco. So our goal is to identify if the mother is smoking and help her if she's willing. Again, this is all voluntary. It's not as if we're coming the services if you don't follow what we say, then encourage them to do that with some addictions they may have. We're focused on safe sleep. One of our measures looks at whether the child is put back without bed. We're talking on a very regular basis about sleep habits. Educating them about the dangers of suffocation. We're helping educate them about the appropriate use of the emergency department. Many of our families have struggled with insurance, job instability. We're trying to help them understand using their insurance have and the appropriate always defaulting to the emergency department as the primary. This is the hard one. We're in we heard that cycle. Where various factors related to child abuse and child maltreatment. We're not there to, to be the child and family services, but where we do observe that, we clearly report that. We're there to protect the child if that's the case, and we will report that. But our goal is to help preempt that and be an education to them, talking about those issues hopefully before they happen. Parent-child interaction, again, the programs are focused on a positive relationship between parent and child, education for the child. We have various assessment tools with that. Early language and literacy. Every week, or every time we visit the home, we're asking, did you read, sing, or talk to your child during the past week? So this is a regular thing that we're asking them to address with the family. Just a really quick success story. One of the mothers reported that her son just would not sit down. He was just too wild and he wouldn't read. And the home visitor said, well, why don't you just try it? here's some books. Why don't you just sit down and try reading with your child this week? See if he'll do it. And so in this case, the mother did. She followed the counsel and tried. And in fact, her son loved reading. And the perception of the mother was that he just wouldn't do that, when in fact, that's now one of his favorite things to do. And it just changes the trajectory of learning for that child, where, you know, I think in this case, the mother needed just a little nudge to say, you can do this. You can be a little more patient with your child, and maybe they're a little wiggly, but let's build a habit in education. So that's made a great difference for that child. Developmental screening, I mentioned this one. That's a regular part of what we do. And not only the screening, we need to get the families to the help. You know, it's one thing to know your child has developmental delays, but now where do we send that family and that child to get the help they need? Behavioral concerns, again, we're wanting to help them get the resources in the community. In our federal language, they refer to intimate partner violence. I think it's maybe more commonly called domestic violence. That is a part of the lives of many of the families that we serve. So we screen every client. Again, we're serving mostly mothers. I would say 95, 96% of the clients that we have are mothers. And so we're screening them, and again, wanting to get them help. So who actually, now that we know they screen positive for domestic violence, let's turn to a community resource to get them help. So education for the families, health insurance, those are our points. I just want to conclude with this slide. One of our mothers said they always say babies don't come with instruction manuals, but if there was one, the nurse-family partnership, or we could substitute parents as teachers or family spirit, is it's sort of an instruction manual. Our home visitors aren't there all the time. We're not there every single day, but we're there typically twice a month and having regular contact and really providing some basics for families that in many cases just don't know. They need that little extra help to have stability in their home. So that's a quick summary of our program. There's my contact information. If you have any other questions, our website has some great resources. We'd love to partner with you and share our resources and also be a part of your resources.
How do these families get referred to you? They've got to be out there, and if we don't think they're seeing physicians, primary care, whatever, how do they get in? How do they find you?
Well, we're working on trying to improve that. One thing that's brand new for us, and I want to go back to this material here, we're really trying to make ourselves available through social media. Most of our families are not looking to receive a printed brochure. They're looking online. So if they're searching for help, they're going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus a little bit. That one doesn't seem to be as popular. But they're looking online, and so we have ad campaigns in places where young mothers will be, advertising our program. We're really trying to grow our social network side. So let me, if I could, just point you to our webpage. And, we have 4 social media accounts. So our homepage is homevisiting.utah.gov. Down here at the bottom, you see we have a link to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Google Plus accounts. So we would love to have you join work, and we hope to be able to have a really broad. Anyway, I think you get the idea. That is a major effort that's really new for us that we're really trying to develop. We also have radio ads. We have our our printed materials, our posters, our handouts that we're putting in physician offices and WIC offices is a really primary pipeline for us. Any social service agencies we're trying to advertise, get our name out there. So, let's go to here, and then I'll go back to there, if that's okay. I don't, as far as time.
Great.
Okay.
So what is your timeline for getting out to other parts of the state? I'm particularly in Wasatch now. So.
Okay. Well, there's nothing set right now. Our next request, we're talking about going to the legislature, not this session, but a year from now, for state funding. That is very much up in the air, but we've been talking to several legislators who feel strongly that this is a program they can get behind. So there's some momentum building towards that. There's a lot of competition at the legislative level for funding. The TANF pot potentially is a resource for us to go. We've already received a certain amount of funding from TANF, and I think what they want to do is see how it's going. But I think that's another potential area that would be available towards expansion on that track. We're very aware that there are areas of the state that just don't have anything. We want to be in all areas of the state. We just aren't. So, if you have ideas, we'd love to partner with you and explore. If there's a particular agency that meet us halfway on a particular site that we can open, and just talk to you about that. Okay.
Do you happen to know if there's any connection between this organization and the Teen Mother and Child Clinic in Salt Lake City?
I'm sorry, the team?
Teen Mother and Child. There's a Teen Mom and Child program through the university, and they're located at South Main. It's a really fantastic program for teen moms, and it does through prenatal care, and I can see this being an excellent bridge post that.
I'm not aware of any direct connection, but I think one of the purposes of me coming today is to try and make connections like that. So.
Yeah, normally we have someone from there here, but I'll let them know.
Okay.
Maybe,
yeah. So, tell me the name of the.
Teen Mom and Child.
Teen Mom and Child. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to connect. If you want to send them to my, either send me an email. We'd love to connect.
I'm thinking that they probably are connected, because South Main's down there in the same building as the health department.
Okay.
I believe, and that's using the same hospital.
Are they?
So I would hope they're connected. I know there's plenty of us who are in the same hospital, other people are not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
unfortunately.
I'll contact them and see.
Okay. Okay, there's a question here.
Actually, 3 questions. Okay. So in terms of capacity in the counties where you are you nearly maxed out? Or?
Most of our sites are either at capacity or just have 3 or 4 openings right now. We're really, unfortunately, at capacity. I wish we had more. If we had more funding, we'd hire more staff because there's definitely more of a need. There are families that we have on waiting lists. So, yeah, I wish that wasn't the case. But
You're not really looking for
we're not. Yeah, we're not. Well, let me back up and say, in Central Utah, we definitely are recruiting. They're brand new. They need to add their client base. But along the Wasatch Front, we're pretty much full right now, unfortunately. But clients can get on a waiting list, and if there's spots open, they can join.
And this would be kind of all about care coordination. You're putting with a nurse family partnership workers. Do they connect with primary care practices around problems that they identify? Do they collaborate?
They do. I think one of the challenges we have is that we're one of many requests to the primary care offices, and so I think one of our challenges is really getting through to say, here's what we do, here's the service we offer, because we're just one of, say 10 handouts or 15 handouts that they could give as clients come visit. We have found some great partnerships out there. Certain, especially nurse-family partnership programs, have made a very strong connection with primary care offices, and that does become a pipeline of new referral sources for us. But,
I was more thinking in terms of medical problems.
oh, okay, sharing. Okay, more of the communication. I don't know that we've been especially good at that. I think we could do better. I think what our focus is trying to get the mother to get to the doctor and take their child to the doctor. We're kind of doing a handoff at that point, saying, okay, we got you to the doctor, but there's really not a lot of communication there. There could be, but that hasn't traditionally been a strong part of it.
It might enhance the support handoff better than cold handoff.
Yeah, right.
And then I guess for the long term, it seems that Congress or the state legislature, to really say, hey, this is a great program, we got to fund it. Looking at outcomes would be the most compelling argument. You're tracking a lot of data, but it looks like most of them are processed data, and did we get them into a service? Are you looking at long-term outcomes?
Yeah, that's a great question. And what I didn't especially focus on are the outcome measures at the model level. So for nurse-family partnership, parents as teachers, and family spirit, they are all considered evidence-based models that have their blind studies that show that we are in fact making a difference in the lives of families. So Congress doesn't allow us to just choose any program. We have to choose an evidence-based program. And so nurse-family partnership has been around since the mid-'70s. So it's a very well-respected program. Now, one of the things that we have to focus on in our office is, are the nurses following the model? Are we implementing locally what exactly is prescribed by the model? And so we kind of have a compliance hat that we have to wear to make sure that happens. So we're regularly having contact, looking at the data that we're gathering to make sure that we are, in fact, meeting what the model intends us to do.
And I'm wondering, are you developing longer-range measures of the outcomes for the program? I mean, okay, they proved it in the 70s or the 90s, but are life-changing data so that you could, 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, compare the populations who did get it?
Yeah, the models have ongoing studies. So both nurse-family partnership, parents and teachers, and family spirit all have ongoing studies that look longitudinally at those children served.
Office point has been also looking at contributing kids.
Yeah. That's if you're not familiar with the eKids, are you familiar with eKids? Is that a new concept? eKids is a program being developed by a sister program in our bureau. Early Childhood Utah is developing a database to gather in resources, gather in data from the community, including home visiting. And this database would look long-term. And so we know the child participated in home visiting, let's say from birth to a year and a half. They were part of the WIC program. They're part of early intervention. They're part of all these different either government or private agencies. And the idea is that all these agencies would contribute to the central database where a de-identified number would allow long-term studies to happen. That is, the database is ready to go. There's all sorts of privacy issues that always seem to be a challenge, but I think it's very close. I think we're trying to work out some of the bugs in that. Does your agency participate in that?
We're in the cupboard, so that's been kind of fun to do with that.
Okay.
But I do know that having listened to these presentations from Carolyn Christensen, who's the Child and Utah Program Manager, they are trying to look at being able to say child X showed us a period of time for longitudinal needs and say, start a program here, end a program here, here, and then overall be able to quickly tie that into an outcome. Graduating high school, relative, certain long-term success measures would indicate that intervention made a positive impact.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's working through all of the minutia of HIPAA, FERPA, and all the other legal stuff.
They've worked very hard to try to get it to where it is right now. I would anticipate in the next, say, 2 to 3 months, I think they're going to finally get over the line to be able to get out there. Okay, I don't know if there are other questions or if you want to conclude it there, maybe.
Are there other questions, guys?
Okay.
Is there an online referral form, or do we call you guys if we want to refer family, or what?
Yeah, so there, if you go to our webpage, we really have made our webpage the central referral source. So if you look on our webpage, under the Locations tab, if you click this tab, you can enter wherever you are in the state. So which area are you in?
84401.
Okay, so 844. So searching by zip code, you can see the closest location to you. Oh, that's, I don't know, did I type that wrong?
I don't know where that's at.
Oh, you with the,
Oh, you.
Oh, that's like in the street address.
In Oregon.
Oh,
Or just put
844.
Ogden, Utah.
Well, it wants a certain zip code. It's
oh, there.
okay, so what this does is it identifies, I don't know if you can see if that's too small, but this identifies the zip code, and so we actually have 2 locations in Ogden. We have Prevent Child Abuse Utah, and we have the Weber Morgan Health Department. So one is the Parents as Teachers, one is a Nurse Family Partnership. And so if they click on either of those, the contact information is there to identify the name and address. So our website is intended to be the central point where we push people to identify where we are in the state.
So then we just confirmate that we.
Yeah, so you would just call Prevent Child Abuse Utah and say, here's who I am, or anyway, you refer the client. And they would have to meet, go through the income criteria. All of our clients have to be below 185% of poverty. But yeah, that's the basic process.
An area where you have a golf program today, so if you get one program that doesn't meet their eligibility criteria, they think you might be eligible for the other, who they then refer again. Because I think it's just Weber County, Salt Lake County, and all different, right? Parents, teachers, and family partnerships.
That's correct. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a competition, although there are plenty of families to serve. It's not as if, everyone is trying to find the same client. If the mom is a first-time mom and they're before the 29th week of pregnancy, then I would recommend that they go to the Nurse Family Partnership Program. If they're past that 29th week, or if they've already had the baby, then we would refer to the Parents as Teacher Program through Prevent Child Abuse Utah. Thank you. Good question. I appreciate you clarifying that.
Thank you so much. Great. We appreciate you coming. With kind of that holiday time, hard to sometimes find a time to get out of the office and do this, but we really appreciate you coming. And Gina, we'll have a parking validation for you to make sure you can get out of here okay. And for everybody else, so don't leave without a parking validation, you guys.
So can I tell you, take one of those or 2 if you'd like.
When you get out, even if the gate was up, I'll just give you a business card with
And then I've got about I don't know, 12 or so posters here. Do you think, by raise of hands, who would want to take a poster? Anybody? Okay.
All right, and so I think we'll need to end. It's 10. We want to respect your time, but if there's more goodies, grab some of those. Make sure you get a parking validation. And then in the very back of the room, we have some Zygo cacti, also known as Christmas cactuses. So everyone, please take one of those. And there's a pretzel from Trader Joe's. If you're into that, take one of those as well. And happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Next meeting is January 18th.